organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
On this edition of Daily Iowan TV, we'll take a look at how a tragic day in American history is being remembered.
And find out how one local outdoor store has brought numerous lakeside activities closer to Iowa City.
And in sports,
and an interview with me, Carl Davis.
All that and much more on the way next.
This is Daily Iowan TV.
I'm Tom Brokaw. For more than 100 years now, the University of Iowa community has been waking up to the Daily Iowan. Today, it's the largest newsroom in eastern Iowa. And now you can see the news every night on Daily Iowan TV and get it anytime worldwide at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching your Wednesday edition of Daily Iowan TV. I'm Rebecca Swives.
And I'm Jacob Esser. Wednesday marked the 12th anniversary of the September 11th attacks in New York and Washington. An emotional President Obama spoke from the White House to observe a moment of silence. In New York, crowds attended a memorial to remember the attacks. Construction for the new building to replace the Twin Towers was shown as well. The 9/11 Museum is set to be opened in spring of 2014. Now, Rebecca, I definitely remember where I was 12 years ago today.
Pretty hard to forget. I'm sure the memorial is pretty packed today.
Yep, I can imagine lines around the block, and I'd sure like to visit sometime.
Me too. Almost 3 years ago, voters in Iowa City upheld the 21 ordinance for the bars. The ordinance states that at 10 p.m., anyone under the age of 21 must leave the bar. The Partnership for Alcohol Safety discussed whether or not to take a position in favor of alcohol consumption. Kelly Bender, the Vice President for Student Life, spoke with members, and after, the partnership decided to be in favor of the ordinance.
We do have a mission, and so now we have a mission, we have some results of the 21 ordinance outcomes. You know, where do we go from here? We're kind of in a different place than we were when we formed in 2009.
The partnership's mission is to identify strategies to reduce high-risk drinking and create a better downtown. The 21 ordinance will be placed on the back of the November 5th ballot.
In previous years, Iowa City students and families would have had to travel miles to enjoy some of their favorite outdoor activities. But relaxing on the water became a backdoor luxury to Iowa City over this summer. We're going to toss it over to Stefan Duran, and he has the story.
The summer heat, although bothersome to many, has brought business to the new Fin and Feather H2O. This lake is part of Iowa City's Terry Trueblood Recreation Center and offers everything from paddle boats to group canoeing. Even though the area is just a couple of months old, management is already noticing an increase of excited visitors.
We kind of stayed word of mouth in the beginning, kind of organic, and that kind of worked for us. But a lot of people didn't really know we were actually out here. So the more people have gotten out here, the more word's gotten around, and we've actually been breaking records every week. So,
in order to make the lake more marketable, owners have added fishing capabilities and food options as well. The staff at H2O knows that the lake could be a popular spot for Iowa students, and by adding a beach next year, they hope it will make swimming one more activity visitors can sink their feet into.
Which will definitely be another draw for the college-age students and even more of the family-type stuff. Because we're right here in the backyard of Iowa City, it definitely beats the 10 minutes to the reservoir or the 20 out to Lake McBride.
Outdoor activities do not stop after the summer, and neither will H2O. In order to have a year-round presence, they plan to offer skating and skiing options in the winter. Stefan Duran, Daily Iowan TV.
And coming up later in the show,
I'll have a real treat for you coming up in Hawkeye Buzz.
And in sports, in light of U.S. men's soccer qualifying for the World Cup, we profile a local supporter group chapter.
But first, we have Daily Iowan TV's Tiara Simpson here to talk about this week's weather forecast. Tiara, take it away.
Thanks, guys. It looks like it's finally going to cool down this week. Tomorrow morning will be a bit chilly with temperatures at 73 degrees and clear skies. Moving into the afternoon, it will warm up a bit with temperatures reaching 82. And by the evening, it will cool off to 75 degrees. Looking towards the rest of the week, Friday looks like it will be a sunny day and a cool 72 degrees. However, this weekend will be a bit gloomier. Saturday and Sunday will be 73 with a 60% chance of rain on Sunday. Monday and Tuesday will warm up a bit, but not too much, with temperatures reaching the mid-70s on Monday and a 50% chance for rain. Tuesday will be 88 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Well, that's all I have for your weather forecast, and coming up here about the results of the Iowa City School Board election.
Can't pick up a copy of the Daily Iowan? Are you worried about how you're going to find out about the latest news in Iowa City and the University of Iowa? Well, look no further. You can download the Daily Iowan mobile app on your iPhone for the area's best news coverage. And you can also read and watch us on your iPad. You can always find current and past Daily Iowan stories at dailyiowan.com. The Daily Iowan is now on TV, online, and in your pocket. If it happens, it's news to us.
In a record-breaking election, over 23,000 community members showed their support here in Iowa City. The election had the highest voter turnout in school board history. Superintendent Steve Morley was excited with the turnout. He said, "I am just very pleased with the interest from the community. They certainly turned out. All 7 of the candidates were strong and the votes reflect that." Tuwet Dereer, Chris Lynch, and Brian Kirschling won in the close race last night. All 3 candidates' platforms included focusing on furthering education standards in Iowa City schools.
Now it's time for our Wednesday segment, Hawkeye Buzz, with our own Alyssa Bergamini. Alyssa.
Welcome back to another edition of Hawkeye Buzz. As promised, I caught up with a local celeb right here in Iowa City. This chef is on track to make her recipe America's next hot food trend. The fresh and exotic ingredients in this creation makes this winning that much sweeter. What comes to mind when you think of strawberries and basil mixed together? I'm sure your first guess wasn't a muffin.
And that's our final product here.
Chef Amy Kirkpatrick of the Java House Bakery is competing to become a finalist in the next top product contest, making her strawberry basil muffin more than just a big hit in Iowa City.
They're looking for products that they want to produce for the nation, and they asked us to submit recipes. So I did, and unexpectedly I got as a finalist, and it's actually out of 55 finalists. And here we are, and now we have to start voting for me to go on to Vegas.
It's no coincidence that Amy's mouth-watering treats make other people just as happy as she is.
Most everybody loves sweets, so just hearing people say that they're really good gives me good satisfaction.
And being a sweets girl myself, let me tell ya, this is one muffin you don't want to miss out on. In order to move on to the next round of judging, a head-to-head cook-off at the World Food Championship in Las Vegas, her recipe will need to be a top 8 vote on the U.S. Foods website. And Amy needs all the support from you, the Iowa City community. So help move her on. So vote at www.usfoods.com/NTP. Well, that wraps up today. Back to you two.
Thanks for that buzz, Alyssa. Oh my goodness, those muffins look good.
They look tasty.
The basil and strawberry?
I could do that.
I could do it.
I'm into that.
I'm into it. So, it's okay. But now let's throw it over to our own Cody Goodwin for a look on everything black and gold. Cody?
What's going on?
Thanks, Rebecca and Jacob. And might I add, those muffins do indeed look delicious. Welcome back to the Daily Iowan Sports Studio, everybody. Cody Goodwin here. Plenty on tap tonight, including more football coverage, getting you ready for another Cy-Hawk battle on Saturday night, and learn about more of the American Outlaws, the support group for the U.S. men's national team, where we begin tonight's coverage. That's right, the U.S. men's national soccer team clinched a berth in the 2014 World Cup last night with a 2-0 win over Mexico. A local chapter of the American Outlaws, a nationwide supporter group for the team, was there. Kevin Glick has more info on what they're all about.
Football is a popular sport this time of year, but a different kind of football is gaining popularity right here in Iowa City. I'm talking about soccer. And while the Iowa Hawkeyes have Hawks Nest, the U.S. national team has the American Outlaws, a group of superfans who follow them around the world.
American Outlaws Iowa City is a group of guys and girls that have come together to support the U.S. men's national team and also the U.S. women's national team.
Not having a soccer stadium in Iowa City hasn't encouraged support in town. the local AO chapter goes to bars like Two Dogs Pub or Donnelly's Pub to watch games.
The United States is a big place, and Iowa City just happens to be one place in our big country. And the national team just isn't for Columbus, it just isn't for New York City, it just isn't for Seattle. American Outlaws is for Iowa City as well.
It's a great group. These guys have spirit. I was in the Marine Corps for 4 years, so the camaraderie of the American people is amazing here.
The Outlaws don't just watch games in town. Members have been traveling to games in Seattle, Mexico City, and last night's game in Columbus, where they took in the win and even got to celebrate with members of the U.S. team after they clinched their spot in Rio. Whether it be watching a heartbreaking game or watching the celebration happen right below them, American Outlaws in Iowa City will be right behind their Stars and Stripes. Kevin Glick, Daily Iowan TV.
Thanks for that, Kevin. We move now from European football to American football, where it's rival week. Saturday night brings yet another Cy-Hawk battle between the Hawkeyes and the Cyclones, and we've been ramping up our coverage ahead of the big game. Tonight, our very own Chelsea Brown caught up with defensive lineman Carl Davis to discuss what Saturday's game means to him.
Chelsea Brown standing alongside Carl Davis. And Carl, Ferentz in his press conference said you've gained over 100 snaps this season. So how are you gaining confidence from game to game?
Really, I don't know. I'm just playing every down. I didn't even know I played 100 snaps until I came in today. I'm just trying to get better every play. Every play I'm out there, and I'm surprised myself, and it's something I take pride in right now, to be able to play more than I ever have before. And I just want to be able to help the team win as best as possible.
And not coming out on top the last two Cy-Hawk series, what does this game mean to you?
It means a lot. I'm a winner. I like to win, and so is our program. We want to be a winning program, and it means a lot. We want to get that trophy back and be able to celebrate. It's nothing like running to that sideline to go get that trophy. We felt that last year versus Minnesota, and we was out there to go rush the sideline to get the trophy, and we want to be able to do it again this year and get that feeling back.
All right, thanks, Carl, and back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Chelsea, as always. And now we welcome in our own Jordan Cabialis, who will be calling the game on Saturday for the student radio station KRUI right here in Iowa City. Now, Jordan, pivotal game for both schools, a lot of hatred between the fan bases. Just how important is this game for both sides?
Well, you said it. It's a rivalry game. There's a trophy involved. It's going to be big. But I think it goes beyond that for both schools. For Iowa State, you're coming off that loss week 1 to UNI. You haven't played since. You've got your bye week early. They've had plenty of time to really have that sink in and to think about it. You want to kind of build on that success. You want to clean things up. You know, Jake Rudock, we've seen him throw some interceptions. You know, you want to start to clean that up. He hasn't been bad. He's thrown for 400-plus yards. He's run for 3 touchdowns. He's thrown 1, which is more than we could say about Vandenberg at this point last year. But you want to continue to build on that. I think the ceiling on him is really high.
Pivotal definitely for both sides. Now tell us, Jordan, for the Hawkeyes specifically, what are the keys to game on Saturday?
Well, you want to run your type of football, and that's running the football. You've got 4 running backs, use them. You know, we know by now Wiseman is a very good running back. You've got Garmin, you've got Kanzeri. Incorporate all of them into this running game. I don't think the Iowa State defensive line is really going to, put a stop to that this weekend. So you want to keep running that ball, and don't be afraid to go to the air either, because as I mentioned, when Rudock has thrown the ball, he's thrown it with some success. Now, granted, a lot of them are short passes, but he's completed 61% plus of those passes, and he's gone deep multiple times in these first 2 games as a starter. And then you want to, like I said, clean things up. 100 yards in penalties last week against Missouri State. You don't want that to happen again. They were unnecessary penalties. Calm down, clean things up, and get back on that winning streak. They've lost the last 2 to Iowa State. You want to get back on that. Kirk Ferentz just 6-8 against the rival school.
A clean running attack for Iowa will likely be the key, as is always historically a good running attack from Iowa leads to success. That's all we have here today, but be sure to tune in tomorrow for our daily Iowan pregame coverage as the Hawkeyes look to stop the skid against the Cyclones. Rebecca and Jacob, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Cody. And Daily Iowan TV is the only place to see what will be in Thursday's edition of the Daily Iowan. See what Sally Mason and other university officials are saying about tuition freeze.
And also, take a look at what Iowa City schools are doing to fight obesity in PE classes.
Well, that's your most current edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out at the same time tomorrow or any time at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great night, and remember the heroes.